Hi guys, what is going on? Welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video, we will be going over the massive bear trap that Bitcoin has been seeing yesterday. How a lot of people once again got trapped in a bear trap. I once again predicted it. Like we can see right here on Twitter, I was giving multiple warnings yesterday morning before the CPI data release. Right over here. Also, I said be bullish when others are bearish, and be bearish when others are bullish. Stay strong out there, my fellow gamblers. Right here, I told you Nasdaq on key levels. We will be going over that in a little bit as well. Bullish near support, bearish near resistance, right? Also going over that one in a little bit. And right over here, I showed everyone my profits yesterday. And over here, we also entered an ENS long in our VIP channel on top of the Bitcoin long. And also over here, you can see how strong Nasdaq bounced off that level that I mentioned. Okay. So multiple warnings, and right now our long is in insane profits, as you can see over here. But you obviously are probably wondering, how did you spot this bear trap once again? Okay, so it is very, very simple. What you have to start with is you have to cut out every noise. Don't listen to other traders. Don't listen to at least the majority of the market, because always the majority of the market is wrong. Like we have been seeing yesterday, people were extremely bearish going into CPI, and Bitcoin played those people that were extremely bearish. How did it do it? Well, as we can see, Bitcoin has been trading in this very choppy range for over a month. And actually yesterday was the first time where we saw a proper volatile move. Yes, we have seen one over here as well, but this one was definitely very volatile. And a lot of people were waiting and waiting and waiting for Bitcoin to make a move. And do you honestly think that after such a long period of very slow and choppy price action, the first move Bitcoin is going to make out of the range is going to be the real one? Well, let me tell you something, never, okay? They always get a fake out first. Same with CPI data, same with FOMC meetings. 9 out of 10 times, the first move is a fake out. That being said, that was definitely not the main reason why I knew this was a bear trap. If we zoom in a little bit further, we can see that right here, Bitcoin was forming these equal highs. And over here, we have the buy side liquidity. Both of them haven't been taken yet since it started moving down, which means there's massive amounts of liquidity above these highs. On top of that, we have a massive unfilled imbalance over here where price has been moving too fast and none of that imbalance has been filled yet, which means there's even more liquidity above. The market makers are always trying to push the price towards the areas where the most amount of liquidity are. That being said, we know that there's massive amounts of liquidity above these highs. So Bitcoin is probably going to be attracted to the price. So do you honestly believe that Bitcoin was going to make new lows below the June low without at least taking this liquidity first? Well, I didn't. I didn't believe that. But that is why my bias was bullish with this move towards the downside. On top of that, we can also see this move towards the downside was very slow. There was not proper strength in this move. We can also see on this move towards the downside, there were big wicks being created at the lower side of these candlesticks. As you can see, all of these massive wicks. What do these mean? What do these wicks mean? It means that sell pressure is being absorbed by the market makers, by the bigger players, by the whales that are filling their buy orders. That means every time people are selling hard, the price is being bought back up again. And market makers, whales, the bigger players won't be buying the price back up again if they don't think there's a move towards the upside gonna happen. Okay, every single wick over here that has been buying every single player is right now in profit, as we can see, as the price is trading higher again. That was a very big sign for me that there was definitely some bullish accumulation going on. Also, in this range, we can see that we are looking at a potential power of 3 play. What does that mean over here? This is definitely a pattern that you should remember, because this is usually what bottoms look like. If we extend the right side, let's do it like this. We can see, okay, over here, we are looking at a nice accumulation range for Bitcoin, okay? Usually, after such an accumulation range, they're first trying to shake out people. If the price is bullish accumulation, what we were seeing over here, they're going to shake out people towards the downside over here. And this is what we call the manipulation range. Okay, so over here, we have seen beautiful manipulation. And after manipulation, the next thing that occurs is expansion. Let's say we are getting the expansion. Our targets would be somewhere in this massive imbalance, above this buy side liquidity and above these equal highs. So we are also looking at beautiful manipulation. A lot of people were getting shaken out right here. And on top of that, we also took these equal lows, which is beautiful, of course, because as we all know, below equal lows, above equal highs, there's massive amounts of liquidity, which has now been taken, and Bitcoin started moving up very, very strong. So just looking at the chart, it was very easy that we were looking at a massive bear trap, okay? On top of that, while Bitcoin was moving down here very slowly, Bitcoin dominance was rising heavily, as we can see over here. What does that indicate? It indicates that altcoins, as we could see yesterday morning especially, were bleeding very, very hard. It means that Bitcoin is literally pulling the liquidity out of the altcoins into itself in order to gain strength for a very strong move. Okay, so Bitcoin was looking for extra money to get that in order to get a strong move. On top of that, by altcoins bleeding very hard, that was an indication for me that people were getting extremely bearish. People were selling off their altcoins because they have lost faith in this market, because they were bearish near support. Okay, massive support, massive support, and massive support. Over here as well, big support, big support. So people were selling off their altcoins because they thought we were going much lower. And when the majority of the market is thinking that, market makers will make sure that that move does not happen. So when Bitcoin dominance was rising very hard, I knew we were looking at a potential bear trap. As altcoins were bleeding, people were getting extremely scared and were selling off their altcoins very, very hard. Bitcoin was literally just pulling the liquidity towards itself in order to get that big move towards the upside. Okay, and right now people are FOMOing back into their altcoin. DXY, very important to always look at on higher time frames, especially if you want to spot a possible reversal. We can see with the high over here for DXY, then it started correcting towards the downside. Over here, it had a strong bounce again, but we can see these previous four candlesticks I should say, were getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And right here on the daily time frame, we were closed as a doji, which is a potential sign for a local top, which is also a potential sign for a potential higher low, as we can see. So even though DXY was looking very exhausted and was looking for a potential higher low, Bitcoin was near support. Bitcoin dominance was rising very hard. We were in a very long accumulation range. Altcoins were bleeding hard. People were losing faith. Everyone was bearish, at least the majority of the market. Those who weren't obviously got rewarded. So there were so many indications just looking at these indicators that were suggesting we were looking at a massive bear trap. The Nasdaq, probably the most important chart. The index for all the big tech companies in America. As we can see, massive downtrend, okay? We have now made a lower low over here, but we can also see the Nasdaq was retesting the beginning of this massive impulsive move towards the upside. What does that mean? It means that the majority of the tech companies were back at the prices it were at September 2020, when it started a massive impulsive move towards the upside. It means that every big institution, every big investor, every big company that missed out on this local bottom right here and missed out on this massive move towards the upside can be buying back those stocks again at the same exact price that they missed over here. What does that mean? It means that literally demand is coming into the market, guys. People are willing to buy a lot of tech stocks at prices like this, as they are the beginning of massive impulsive moves. Those who missed out now get the chance to buy back from those weak hands that have been selling near massive demand. Okay, so Nasdaq was near massive demand, Bitcoin was near support, people were extremely bearish, DXY was near resistance, forming a potential lower high. Bitcoin dominance was rising massively, and still people were extremely bearish, guys. Well, I refuse to be bearish when others are. Okay. Oh wait, I'm actually marking the wrong one. I have to mark this one, of course. This one here. Nasdaq was near this beginning of the impulse move, as this is obviously not the beginning of the impulse move, but this is, as you can see. Okay, so Nasdaq was near the biggest support it has been in for a very long time after this one over here, as we can see, and still people were extremely bearish. Okay, it was very easy to spot this bear trap. On top of that, CPI, yes, it did come in a little higher than expected, but it also came in lower as the previous month and the lowest it has been since February. Even though it came in the lowest since February, people were selling off like crazy, but they were selling off near massive support. So the biggest lesson is always be bullish when the majority of the market is bearish, always be bearish when the majority of the market is bullish, and never forget to always be bullish near support and bearish near resistance, especially when others are getting extremely bearish near support. Make sure to always be bullish near support. Okay, guys, it is very easy to spot these bear traps. I've been spotting every single bull trap we have seen on Bitcoin. This one, for example, this one as well, this bull trap over here where we saw massive decreasement, this bull trap over here as well, where people are saying, ooh, we are looking at a falling wedge breakout over here. No, we went down. It is very, very easy to spot these traps, and the most amount of money is to be made with these traps. As they trap so many people, there's so much fuel to move the market towards the opposite side that the majority is thinking, that there's insane gains to be made. From this local bottom over here, we are looking at an increasement of approximately 10%, guys, already. Okay, so what is next? If Bitcoin manages to flip the key resistance area over here around 19.4 into support, I am expecting us to take out this buy side liquidity and fill a part of this imbalance. Okay, the reaction around 21k right here, the reaction around this area will determine if we go higher or if we go lower. Simple as that. First, we need to flip this area. Maybe we go a little bit lower towards 19k, but I would prefer to hold 19.4. If it does, the buy side liquidity is next. Enjoy these profits. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to smash out the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys on Monday again. Bye bye.